Hi, good day. So today we're gonna talk about the circulatory system. Okay? So first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Jess Christian Abo from the STEM 12E6. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the circulatory system. So what is a circulatory system? It is a network consisting of blood vessels, and the heart. This network supplies tissues in the body with oxygen and other nutrients, transports hormones, and removes unnecessary waste products. Okay, so as you can see, there is what we call the blood vessels. Okay, so let's talk more about that. So what is a blood vessel? Blood vessels are components of the circulatory system that transport blood throughout the human body. Okay, so now we know that blood vessels transports blood throughout the human body. Okay, so let's talk more about the blood vessels. So blood vessels has three types of blood vessels. So it is the arteries, capillaries, and veins. So what does the arteries do? Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to all of the body's tissues, while the capillaries are small blood vessels that connects the arteries and the veins. The veins, however, are blood vessels that take blood back to the heart. Okay, so those are the three types of blood vessels, and then we move on to the blood vessel network. So let's see what a blood vessel network is. Okay, so this is an illustration of blood vessel network, and let us rank them of their pressure. So the highest pressure belongs to the aorta, and then followed by the elastic arteries, and then the muscular arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, medium and large veins, and finally, with the lowest pressure, is the venae cavae. Next off, first question. Why are there vessels having relatively lower pressure and higher volume? So, the relationship between blood volume, blood pressure, and blood flow is intuitively obvious. Water may merely trickle along a creek bed in the dry season, but rush quickly under great pressure after heavy rain. Similarly, as blood volume decreases, pressure and flow decrease. As the blood volume increases, pressure and flow increases too. Okay, so next, what is the relationship between blood pressure and these three factors? Okay, so the first factor is heart rate. So what is its relationship with blood pressure? A rising heart rate does not cause your blood pressure to increase at the same rate. Even though your heart is beating more times a minute, healthy blood cells dilate or get larger to allow more blood to flow through more easily. So when you exercise, your heart speeds up to more blood can reach your muscles. So second factor, blood volume. Blood volume affects blood pressure when there's a greater volume of fluid. So more fluid presses against the walls of artery, resulting in a higher pressure. Okay, so let's move on with our last factor, which is the blood vessel diameter. So as the diameter of a tube gets smaller, a greater proportion of fluid is in contact with the wall of the tube. Therefore, resistance to flow is increased and pressure rises. So, what roles does the following hormones play in the blood pressure regulation? So, we have five hormones. So, first hormone is ADH. So, its source is hypothalamus. Receptors are osmoreceptors. Effector organ is kidneys collecting duct. Its function is to promote water reabsorption. Factors affected is blood volume. Effect is increased blood pressure. Angiotensin, however, its source is adrenal cortex. Its receptor is chemoreceptor. Its effector organ is lungs. Function is releases from lungs. Factors affected is fluid volume. Effect is increased blood pressure. Aldosterone, its source is adrenal cortex, receptors, chemoreceptor, effector organ, kidneys. Function, promote water reabsorption. Factors affect its blood volume and its effect is increased blood pressure. Epinephrine, however, its source is adrenal medulla, receptors is chemoreceptor, effector organ is blood vessels, function is slow digestion, factors affected heart rate, and it affects increased blood pressure. And for the last is atrial natriuretic peptide. So its source is medulla oblongata, receptors is chemoreceptor, effector organ is kidneys, function is increased excretion of water and sodium, factors affected is the blood volume, and its effect is decreased blood pressure. Okay, so why is blood pressure regulation important? Because as blood pressure is from the heart to the various vessels, enough pressure is generated in order to send blood to all parts of the body. So people who suffer from hypertension, for example, they are in risk of their health. So we see regulation of blood pressure is of utmost importance for our survival. So for the last question, what are the implications of lower or higher than normal pressure? So when you're high blood pressure, you're gonna experience headaches, difficulty in sleeping, nosebleeds, sweating, facial flushing, nervousness, and blood spots in the eyes. However, in low blood pressure, you're also gonna feel dizziness, fainting, blurred vision, nausea, fatigue, lack of concentration, and shock. Okay, so thank you so much for this session. So, thank you so much for listening to this discussion. See you next time. This is Jess. Stay safe and take care always. Thank you so much.